Hey guys, DibtheAwesome here to give you another Monster Legends videos. And today we are talking about this December's 2016's 72-hour event challenge. Alright, so there's like a one more monster than usual. We got some choices and they might not be the best choices, and that's fine. Wildcat's a lot of people don't have like a few questions. Some people think he's really terrible, some think he's great, some think he's yeah. I'll get to Wildcat later, but yeah, we're gonna start from the beginning to the end, and I'm gonna talk about each one. All right, xpug. Well, I guess before I begin too, I don't know the specific price yet for these monsters, and I will be putting them in the comments, uh, comments and description below, when they actually do come out, when each price comes out, like the specific price for each one, and all that jazz. All right, so xpug. Xpug is basically it's iPug. There's nothing special. It's just in a Santa suit, and that's actually really cool. That's really cool. That's a very cool collective monster. You can use him in war. His kit's not bad. He's an alright monster. Is he the best? No, he's not the best. Is he really cool? Yeah, he's really cool. I mean, look at him. It's a pug in a Santa suit. That's adorable. But yeah, he's in a Santa suit. So yeah, that's really cool. Um, there's Now we're gonna talk about Furnace yet. Okay, so Furnace, everybody considers him to be the worst legendary in Monster Legends. And that could apply for a lot of reasons. It's either that it's a toss between this guy and larger Khan, I think. Both of them have pretty much epic stats, and that's why people don't like them. In terms of offensive, they have epic stats. Furnace actually has a high life of 29,000 something life. It's pretty high. But his offensives are like only near 3,000. They're very close to 3,000, but they're not there. I will say if you rank this guy up, he is usable. I will say that if you rank this guy up, he starts doing stuff. But you have to get like 100. You have to get him to at least 110 for him to start doing stuff. His life actually becomes 36,000 at that point, which is pretty cool. I will say that's pretty cool. What does he do? No, you probably don't know what this guy does because this guy's actually really old. This guy was the second nature monster to ever be released. Uh, yeah, and this guy's really old. This guy's so old and stuff like that. His healing is weaker compared to other monsters. Like some dude like the 30% heal, and stuff like that. This guy has like a 2-turn AOE heal that's 20% instead of 30%. I think if it was 30%, it would be better, but it's not. He does have I will say he's not completely like ununique and worthless. He does have a few moves that are very unique. One, he has an AOE blind that does special damage. Uh, and yeah, you would have to run a speed rune set on this thing, like either 2 speeds or 3 speeds or however you want to run it. You can do 2 speeds in a life or all 3 speeds. But either way, you have to put speed runes on this thing regardless, just because of its low speed stat. Uh, yeah, he's got a move where I think it's worded wrong too. See, there's a lot of moves in Monster Legends that are worded wrong. He has a single target move that says it heals by 20% in the wording, but on the actual effect thing, it actually says 40%. It doesn't even say it gives. It might not be worded wrong. It may be or might not be. But there have been some moves that have been worded wrong. It's just been a thing. But yeah, pretty much he has a single target move that's on a 1-turn cooldown that heals by either 20 or 40% and also gives life regen. That's actually really nice. I will say that's really nice. That's not bad at all. That's fairly useful. But yeah, you would mainly bring him there to be mainly supportive, and some would say he's kind of pointless anyway because Neemstress is better. In most cases, he is. Neemstress himself is actually really better. This guy was actually on my top 10 least favorite monsters list because he's pretty much a copycat character that doesn't do any better than the original. But yeah, that's Furnace, Furious. Yeah, the Christmas tree thing. How much money does he actually give you? No. He gives 12. We got Cuthulu with a rank 1. People might be interested in this. I think his stats become Legendary. I think it might become legendary sets. I'm not 100% sure. Uh, but yeah, people like using Cthulhu. Cthulhu is really interesting. He's very bulky, epic. He has self-healing. He has, an AoE damage reduction. He's got a lot of, he's got quite a few nice things that are really nice. He's a very unique monster. I will say probably people will probably get this thing. This might be something people might actually get. They just might. They might get it. I don't know. uh, I wonder how that works too. Does it like when you hatch it, does it become a rank 1 monster then? Does it already have the rank? You would think so, right? Or is it already done? Can you just place it in the hatch? Probably not. Probably not. You'd probably hatch. It's probably a normal monster you hatch. But Cthulhu is really nice. He's got a few interesting things. Self heal, AoE damage reduction. I think he has an AoE nightmares too. I don't remember. But he's pretty bulky, and honestly, if you put him on a bulk team, yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. Don't ever put him in wars with like either like don't ever put him against thunder or light monsters. I think that was the case. Wildcat. All right, so we got to the interest. This is the last monster in the event. He's not available yet. He's available in 24 hours, and that's totally fine because you're not gonna get him at this point. Uh, because right now you can't get him at this point because you don't have enough coin because you just started this event, right? So it's totally fine that he's not available yet. Just because yeah, you usually just spend all your coins on the final day. This event's just starting, so you're all good, and all that jazz. So Wildcat's actually a great monster. In the fact he does a lot of damage. His single target damage is really great. A lot of people don't like him because they think his ultimate just is pointless and stupid. And yeah, I actually thought that in the beginning too. Okay. So a lot of people think that his ultimate actually hurts him because it says in the description, as soon as he uses it, 25% of the attacker's health is gone and stuff like that. I think that's worded wrong. Because I just watched Armor Gaming's not too long ago. I'd say probably a day or two ago, and he brought up the fact that things have been worded wrong before, and it could possibly do 25% to all the enemies. That's really interesting. I think that's an interesting, that's an interesting point because ults have been worded wrong before. Fire Lake Quinn's ult doesn't says it slows down, but it doesn't really. I mean, it brings up an effect, but it doesn't apply. For the next artist thing, I don't know if they ever fix that one, but it says it applies something slow or something like that. I think it just does daze and shocks. There's a lot of things that it I'll say that it doesn't actually do, or moves that doesn't actually do. uh, and we really have to test them out to see if that's how his ult actually works. I would be interested in seeing that. I would be interested because if it works like that, his ultimate is actually really good in terms of fighting against Earth monsters. Taking 25% of that. He'll always take at least 25%. And slightly more, against the Earth monsters, stuff like that. But he'll always do 25% damage. That's a guarantee. If that is the case, that's really cool. But yeah, beyond that though, he is mostly single target damage. He has the traditional 45 AoE. I did like Armor's. I think one of the builds Armor was pointing out was a full single target build, and I think that's all right. Because his single target damage is the best thing about him. He's got a spammable 65 damage move. He has a 65 stun. He's a really cool monster, and he's got special damage return. I will say he's a unique monster, but not as best as unique as all the other stuff. So a lot of people don't think he's the best thing to come out in terms of last monsters, and that's totally fine. I think Totem was really great. I think the best one so far was Totem. In terms of uniqueness and moveset, I think Totem has been the best they've done so far. It's just so much fun to use. There's actually one more monster that's a hidden secret. You can actually do this instead. You can actually go for this monster instead. It's not on the chain here, but you can do one monster. And you probably just saw him when I was looking over Furnius Gold. You can actually go for Annihilator R2 cells. Now, how is our Annihilator R2 good? Yes. Most people probably be going for this thing, probably. So Annihilator R2, he's got Harden. He does a lot of his damage is actually really good too. He's a really good monster. Not many people use him because it's that whole deal where why use this when this exists? Why use any thunder monster while Vortic exists? exists. Exist and stuff like that. For metal monsters, why use anything but metal head or like anything with higher any stats that yeah. Just why use anything else besides this? It's that whole deal. Annihilator R2 is actually really good. He's got an AoE burn, AoE magnetize. He's got the. I think he has an AoE magnetize. I might have only the single target one. But yeah, he's a really cool monster. He is a really strong monster. Not many people use. It's a shame though because he's really cool. I think Terror Crank is tickled. I think one of my subscribers named Terror Crank is probably going to be really tickled pink about this. People are like he's going to be. RT Annihilator R2 cells. Or that's probably an exaggeration of it, but he's not gonna go. I was just trying to be funny. But yeah, so you can go for Annihilator R2, and that's totally fine. My overall thoughts of this event, I think it might be the worst. I will say it might be the worst. Like in terms of monster selection, but Wildcat. I think Wildcat is great. I'm still gonna go for Wildcat. I think he's got great single target damage. He's a really good monster. And I hope his ult does work. Like instead of just like hurting 25% of him, it actually hurts 25% of like all the other monsters. That would be really cool. That would actually work well in PvP and Team Wars. But yeah, overall, yeah, this is pretty much a collective. This is pretty much a collective deal. And it's the same. The only the only good monster the one monster everybody would agree about getting for this event would be Annihilator R2, and he's a monster. He's the monster cells. People like the most exciting thing about this event is monster cells, and that's really interesting. And that's I think people are really surprised about it. Just like look at the selection we got here. We got 2 epics and one of the worst. Like one legendary is considered the worst legendary of Monster Legends. It's just a lot of stuff that's it's just collective stuff. Wildcat. People could think Wildcat's just a collective YouTuber. That's fine. Different likes for different strokes. I don't even think I worded that right, but yeah. Overall, what do I think overall? I like I'm probably Wildcats. I'm interested in Wildcat and I'm interested in Annihilator R2. That's something you guys probably want me to use is Annihilator R2. What thing am I probably gonna go for this event? I still have time to think. I'm either gonna go for Wildcat or Annihilator R2. And I think that's fine. I think that's contentful. I hope I do get enough for both of them. Maybe I probably won't though because Wildcat will probably take all my coins, or something like that. I am going to be binge playing this. I will say that I am going to be binge playing to get this, so I might not stream. I'm going to stream sometime today, but after that, I'm not going to stream until like the events are over. Maybe like I don't know when, but I'll be sure to let you guys know when I start streaming. It's not like I'm going to be gone for so long after. After the events, I was just gonna take a few times because I get really tired. If you ever watch my Totem video, actually binge play for that. I was so tired. If you ever watch my Atlas video, I was so tired. I'm just never like awake. I always feel sick. Yeah, binge playing is awful. So yeah, that's everything I have to say. I would like to say I'm sorry I haven't been posting any videos like guides and stuff lately. I'm gonna do a Wildcat guide today. I'm gonna do a guide on how to get better gold. More gold and stuff like that. What's the way to get money in this game? And I'm probably gonna do a few other things that I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, I will get to them today, hopefully. Oh, I'm also going to do a commentary video on Uriel because I did do a video on that, and now I'm going to make a commentary one, because, it's a unique monster, and I kind of want to give out my thoughts on it and all that jazz. So yeah, go ahead and enjoy that stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm DibtheAwesome. I'll catch you guys later.